Hello, this is going to be a video about installing a 2-DIN stereo on a 2008 Jeep Grand Cherokee. So this is my Jeep, and right now, currently, I have a factory radio that I'm gonna this car is about 14-15 years old, so the stereo has a known issue where when it's cold, you don't hear any sound until like 5 minutes after, because it needs to warm up and expand. The chips inside, they have become loose with the time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the whole thing. So let me show you what I have purchased. I bought, so for this project, I got a Sony XAV-AX150. So this is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capable, has Bluetooth, 55 watts per channel, has extra bass and other cool features. This is the affordable model that Sony makes. I believe this was $250. The rest of them that are similar to this are $350 and above. So got this stereo. So it comes with the wire harness, and it comes with the remote control, a microphone for making calls. It comes with a steering remote, but my Wrangler don't have any steering controls. Also, the Wrangler, this model I got with the bass audio, so it does not have a factory amplifier. So I do not need a module for the radio to talk to the computer. So I only got a wire harness, and I'm going to show you the cheapest way to do it if you don't have an amplifier. This is the radio. It's a double DIN, but it's a single DIN in the back. This one has the USB in the back to connect your phone for Android and Apple CarPlay. And I'm going to show you a really cool way to make that look like factory. So here are the other stuff that I bought for this from Amazon. I got and by the way, I'm going to put links to everything that I purchased. So I got this installation kit. I think it costs like $20, and it comes with I'll show you what it comes with. It comes with butt connectors, right? let me set this down. It also comes with your mounting brackets, right? So sometimes mounting brackets are $10 by themselves. Comes with the antenna adapter, because Chrysler has a weird adapter that you need so you can get your regular antenna plug. That right there would have been already $20. And it comes with the wire harness. So this is a good buy. I'll put the link in the description. And put the stuff back in here. I also purchased this USB extender. So this USB extender comes with a mounting bracket that I'm not going to use. comes, what I'm going to use is actually the USB extender. So this is what it's going to show. And the back connects to the USB that is in the back of the radio, and has a cover dust. I am going to put that and a knot to secure it. So this one, I'm going to install it in place of one of the cigarette lighters. I have two. One is in constant power, one is on ignition power. The one in ignition, I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to put this instead in there, so it looks like it's from factory. I don't need two cigarette lighters. I don't smoke. Nobody smokes in my house. And if it wants to plug in more USB charges, I have the other one that is on constant power. So that way I don't have a cable dangling somewhere where you plug in your phone for the Apple Play. So let's start with the unmounting of the center console. Also, I'm going to show you where all the wiring is, so you can hook up, like where to grab your reverse wire, your illumination wire, and how to bypass the parking brake. One thing you're gonna need to do is get back in the gauges, so you can tap your illumination wire for the dimming of the stereo. So you're gonna have to take this console, this part of the dashboard. So it has two screws, one down there and one down there. You don't have to take the panel that's covering that. It just clips together. You just pop it out. So you undo that nut and then that one, and then the rest is just it's just clipped in. So you just pop it out. So let me show you. I already did it. So you pop it from the corners and then you get it out. So you see it has clips in the back. So it has 3 on the top and one on each side, and then the 2 screws. And then after that is 4 screws at the corners. So one right there, one right there, one right there, and one right there. So you unscrew those out, and then you can move this to the front, and then you should be able to get to the wire in the back. Okay, so first you gotta unmount the console, so you can remove the radio, so you have access to the back and get the wiring done and everything. So first, the top, it has 2 snaps. So you snap it on each side, and you can use a screwdriver. It's easier. Just snap it, and then you tilt it forward, and it comes right out. Right? Let me show you. And in here you have a compass, right? So you need to unplug the compass, and then you can put this on the side. Next, there's 4 bolts, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, right down here. Let me get this over here. So again, you have a cover on the bottom. You just snap it, and it comes right out. It has 2 snaps. And again, there's one bolt here. They're all 7 millimeters, by the way, and another bolt here. When you do that, you're gonna have to also pop the snaps. This one has 3 on each side, so you just go on the corners and pop it, corner, and pop it, and I have already done the other ones. So you don't need to get it all the way out. This is enough to get to the radio. So here on the radio, let me get this light over here. Okay, on the radio, you're also gonna have 4 bolts, one on each side on the top and one on each side at the bottom. So let me get those taken off. And they're also 7 mils. So now you can pull the radio right out. And then you're gonna have 2 plugs. Yeah, so it's this plug right here. It's for the radio. And the antenna. It comes right up. Put it on the side. Okay, so here is the wire harness on your Jeep, and the way you can tell whether you have an amplifier or not is by looking at the connector. So if you have 2 sets of speaker wires, so the speaker wires are right here on the right, so they have 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom. That means that I do not have an amplifier. If you have an amplifier, you're only gonna have 1 set, so it's gonna be 4 on the top and the bottom is gonna be empty, because the rear speakers are gonna go to your factory amplifier. So this is a telltale that I do not have a factory amplifier. Therefore, I don't need a module to talk to the factory amplifier to get control of the speakers. So I'm good with this antenna, and then now the wire harness. But before we go to that, I'm going to tell you there's a couple of wires that I have never seen in a video showing you where they at. So you need an illumination wire for the new stereo, so when you turn the lights on at night, it dims down the radio and it's not too bright, blinding you at night when you're trying to drive. So there's here in the wire harness of the car, we're missing. So these 2 cables, these 2 cables right here, right next to the yellow one, are cables that talk to the computer. So and the yellow one is a constant power. So what we're missing is the ignition power. So then the radio turns on when you turn on the ignition, so that way you don't forget to turn it off when you turn off the car. And we're also missing the illumination, and for the double din that has a backup camera, I'm gonna need a reverse wire, and I'm gonna have to get that from the reverse light. Okay, so the illumination wire. So the illumination wire, what you're gonna have to do is the center console. It has wires in the back. So when you turn on the this is very bad angle. When you turn on your lights, right? So it turns on the lights. When you turn on your lights, it turns the interior lights. So it's going to be this orange wire with blue stripe. Is blue or gray? Let me take a look, closer look. I think is, yeah, it is light blue. It's orange with light blue line stripe. So that is going to be your illumination wire. So this orange with blue stripe is going to go to your orange cable. So the other one that I had to fish for and find is the reverse. The reverse, you're gonna have to go down here to the passenger side, and underneath the passenger side there is a bundle. See right here, and I already went to the backup light on the passenger side to see which was the positive, and the positive is going to be a cable right here. I already have it on the side. Let me get the camera closer. Is white with a gray stripe. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to get this back. Right there. It's white with gray stripe. That is the positive for the reverse light. So those are the wires you're gonna have to tap into and run a cable to the back of the new radio. All right, so let's go to the wire harness. So the wire harness, most of it is pretty easy. Is all color coded, and we already got the tricky cables that I haven't seen any video that shows you where to get them from, especially if you're not using a module, right? So if you're using a module, the module is going to talk to the computer and it's going to provide those signals for you. So if you have a factory amplifier, you're going to have to get a module, and you're going to get those wires from the module. So if you have a factory amplifier, you're going to get a module, so don't worry about those two cables. But if you don't have a factory amplifier, you don't need to spend money in buying the module. All you need to do is tap into those wires. All right. So here they give you a red wire, which is going to be for your ignition. So the stereo is going to need constant power, which is the yellow, and ignition power, which is the one from the ignition. So the constant power keeps the memory and it gives actual power to the radio. The ignition power just tells the stereo when to turn on and when to turn off. The black one is your ground, and the rest of them here are all speakers, right? So you have a pair per speaker. So you have four sets, and this blue one is for your antenna, like if you have a electronic antenna, but the Wranglers don't have that, so we're just gonna cap this one. I'm gonna start by cutting this one. We're just gonna tape it later. So this is the wire harness. And this is what goes in the back of the radio. So what we want to do is we're going to divide all the speakers on the side. All right, we're back over here at the car. What I did is I solder the cables and tape them together, so you can see the the harness is now got all the speakers here, and I got the power here, and then these are the cables that still need to be hooked up. So I have the orange is gonna go to illumination over there, and I have the reverse. The reverse is the one that's gonna go and gotta connect it with an extension cable, and just another cable just like this, and connect it over there. And then the parking brake. I'm gonna test this. It just needs negative, so see if just connecting it to the negative, or I need to actually connect it to a toggle switch. I don't know if it needs just to have negative or to have negative in sequence. So this is what's gonna connect into the harness right there. Another thing, so I'm fitting it right now, and as I'm fitting it, I'm finding now that this little thing right here is in the way, right? So I'm just gonna cut it down here, so then this stays in place, but it's not sticking out at the bottom. This right here. It's just a plastic rivet, so I just get my cutters and trim that out. And then the harness is simple enough to put together. So the screws came with the stereo, so because this is one din at the back, so you have to put them in line on each side. This is what it's gonna end up looking like. So these spacers is because this is a 7-inch wide screen, and I have a 8-inch hole, so this is about half an inch on each side, so it can be flush. So now let's see if it fits better with the little thing that we trimmed. Yep, a lot better. Screws lined up there, and it's perfect. Okay, all right, we got fitment. Let's go finish the USB extension, which we are going to remove that cigarette lighter so we can put it right there. So then we're gonna have USB instead of cigarette lighter, but we're still gonna have the other cigarette lighter or power outlet on the right hand side. Right, to remove the cigarette lighter is gonna be a little challenging, but it's not impossible. So the cigarette lighter, came from here, right? So first of all, you have to unplug it, right? So the back, show you how the back looks like. So the back, the plug here, this is what's plugged in. You're gonna have to squeeze this piece right here. I did it with the screwdriver. I squeeze that right there, the little yellow see-through part, because you can see right there is the little hook. So I squeezed it and pulled it out at the same time, out of the back of here. Right, so it was like this. So then, so after you unplug it, the cigarette lighter in the back has these tabs right here, and this was holding it in place. Has one on top and one at the bottom. So you have to squeeze them with, I did it with the flathead screwdriver. Squeeze them with one hand and push out with the other. And so I did it at the top, so it came out, and then I did the bottom, and then it came out the bottom, and then you pull it out. All right, so now I remove this, and I'm going to put this one on. So let me prepare it first. So we're gonna put this through first. Dust cover goes on first. Route it in. Stuck. So I was also trying to fit the microphone that came with the radio for the phone calls. Here's a microphone. The best way that I found to be fitted for me, at least, is to have it right up here, right? So I fished it through here, and all you have to do is, I'll show you right now. All you have to do is that piece right here, this piece of plastic is flexible. You just push it until it's out of the way, and then you push with the other hand the this end. this thing goes right through here. Once you push that, it makes a hole, so you can push it through the little hole, and it has a little foam padding so it won't damage the cable. So that way, and then what you do is just put it back in a bundle and just leave some slack so you can plug it into the radio. And it's going to be mounted on the top. So what you do here, is, see if I can do it with one hand. You leave the clip and you clip it inside here, like so, right? And then once you push the clips on the side, it stays nice and firm. And then you just have it up here in the front, and you can face it either direction. And that's the way it fit better for how I wanted to be. Because I was gonna put it up here, but then there's something down here and it didn't look as good. I didn't want to put it on the side like most people do, on this side or that side, because then it's not center, and then you're gonna get noise from the window there and from the top. Here is more center, and you won't get a lot of the noise from the doors. To run the wire down to your passenger bottom to get the parking, you need to, it's easier if you remove your glove compartment. You just open it, and then it has these two tabs right here, these two stops on this side. What you do is you squeeze it, and then until it comes out of the way. You squeeze both sides at the same time, and you just pull it. Show you. Like so. And then the bottom is just hooked, so you just pull it out, the whole thing. And the reverse is you put the bottom part first, make sure that it aligns at the bottom, and then you squeeze again and get it through the stoppers. So this is what the connections look like after I tap them. So you can see right here, I use these tapping connections, where one wire goes straight and it has a second hole for the wire that you want to extend. That way you don't cut the cable. You can always undo them and just tape it. It doesn't actually go through the wire, it just pierces so that it can get a connection. So this is the one for the illumination. And I'll show you the other one for the, that's the one for the reverse. And the final in the back. So we have a tapping connection here for the ignition coming off the compass. Then the ignition, I did a butt connector right here. I ran out of those tapping connections. So a butt connector right here, coming from that one that I tapped, and I split it into two. I need one for the camera, right? So I can run power, ignition power to the camera. You can do it two ways. You can do it this way with the ignition power, so that your camera is always on when the car is on, in case you're driving and you want to see behind you. Then you can just switch the camera on the stereo, or you can hook it up to the reverse light, which I use this green wire right here. Comes here and it goes into the bundle, and Where is it? There's two green wires, the same color. I just reused the, no, the parking brake. Here's the parking brake. Right, so actually I don't need to hook up the parking brake because my stereo does not play videos, like DVDs and stuff like that. That's what you need it for. And if your stereo is going to play like DVDs, games and stuff, video, then you do need to connect this to a negative. So mine doesn't do that, so I'm just going to tap it. I don't need it. And then I use the slack of the parking brake wire to run it to the reverse, down there. So you can either connect your camera to the reverse so that it's always, so it comes on only when you reverse. I wanted to have it on when the car is on, so I tap it into the ignition, right? So that's what I did right there. Then here is the USB. I'm still going to tape it and bundle it up so it's not so loose. And what else? And then this is the wire from the illumination over there. It's a simple little wire, and that's it. So just gonna tape it and tuck it in, and then put it all back together. The only thing I didn't like is I purchased this type of camera for the license plate, but since I'm gonna have the camera on all the time when the car is on, these LED lights, they stay on all the time. So you're gonna be blinding people behind you because they're very bright. So, and then I didn't really like the angle. Close proximity, it only gives half of the view. A little longer down the driveway, you can see the whole driveway, but closer proximity you don't. So I didn't like that feature. This light stays on all the time, so then I cannot use it as a camera that is always on when the car is on. So I just ordered one. It's supposed to come in today. It's just a camera that you can make a hole and flush mounted. So I'm gonna put that in the bumper and the rear, and then just run it through. So that's the only thing pending right now. So I'm just gonna start closing it. So I'm gonna need to make a small modification. So as I was testing the radio, turns out that it only comes on. See, when I have it in the first position, which the stereo should turn on, it's not turning on. It's only turning on when I have it on the start position, right? So that's not what I want to do. What I did is I tested the cigarette lighter that I took off, and this one right here, and these does come on at the first position, which is what you want, because if you stop somewhere, you don't want to have your ignition ready, wasting more of your battery, and if you just want to listen to the radio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the tap from the compass down to the cigarette lighter that I removed. All right, for the backup camera, I got this little Rayu camera. It came with the drill bit to make the hole, a bunch of tap connectors, even roll tape, that tool to tuck in the cable along the side. Then I use that drill bit to drill the back of the bumper cover. So here's the camera. So I drilled a hole there, and then with the other longer drill, I drill the other side of this bumper cover. So this bumper cover is hollow inside, and then I'm going to put silicone on both holes and around this camera to stay in place and to make it watertight. So you're gonna have to loosen the bumper cover. So there is those two bolts on this side, and let me show you. And I took out those two bolts on that side, and then loosen that one. That way the ends of the connection, you can fish them. So what you need to do is raise the bumper cover and then put them through the actual bumper, the metal bumper. You lift it and you fish them through, so you can get them through the other side, because here is a rubber seal that you're gonna have to cut an X and then silicone it seal, so you can fish your cable through it. And this goes to the compartment where your tire jack is. Alright, the camera is right there installed. Might I just probably install it a little bit lower so I can get a lower edge. The cables ran inside, like I told you, inside where the compartment for the jack. I did put the protective covering, lumen, and then I ran it in here all the way to behind. I have the cable in behind here, and then ran all along the side and up into the dashboard. The negative I just connected to this bolt right here underneath. I loosened them up and then I tied it to this and put it back in there. Just negative. All right. So fitment fits nice now. I got it bolted. 2 screws on each side, just like the old one. The only thing is, the old one used to have a space here where this clip would tie into, and this one just doesn't have anything, so it's not gonna clip there, but it's gonna clip the other two. So you're gonna have one right there and another one down below on both sides. So you're gonna have 2 clips on each side instead of 3, but it's okay because we have these bolts right here. So it fits pretty nice. I have space underneath for all the harness and the cabling. Let's put it back together. Make sure you align the air vents to the air vent holes inside the ducts, and then just push at the bottom here. Oh, let me show you. Push here at the bottom on both sides, because that's where the clips are. There's 1, there's 2, in the middle, there's 4 right there, and that's all the clips you're gonna have. I make sure that this stuff is still working. Okay. Now is 2 bolts up in the bottom and 2 bolts on top. So now the micro first I'm gonna plug in the compass. Now I'm going to do a little twist under. So microphone. Okay. And now for the moment of truth. Here's the key. So by changing the ignition cable to the old cigarette lighter, this is how it works pretty good now. Now first position comes on. Alright, so now let's take a look at how it came out. So it's on. Turn it on, and as soon as you put the reverse, you get the camera. Right, so that's working pretty good. It doesn't even have to boot up all the way, so that's a pretty good option. And I already tested the Apple CarPlay. Works really good. You do have to be connected. It also has Bluetooth. I tested that, and I can play anything from my phone to the stereo via Bluetooth. It's really good too. You can tell the sound quality is the same as if you connect it. So overall, it's pretty good. It has a lot of memories for the radio stations. I already put a whole bunch of them. And let's see, so it has options for extra bass. It has equalizer, so it has already a bunch of presets, and you can create your own custom one. Other thing, where is it? Oh, the settings, they're over here. So on general, you have the language, the demo if you want to turn it on or off, the date, the beep if you want to keep it on, the camera if you want to change the guidelines. I removed them because the camera already has guidelines, and you cannot put them low enough, so they end up being the same. And the camera has 3 colors, where this one it only has 2 colors. So I removed them. Steering controls, I don't have that. I put the clock time as on. You can check the firmware or reset it back to factory. So when you go on sound, you have equalizer. It has also a subwoofer control. I don't have a subwoofer. It also has crossovers. The crossovers are pretty good to clean up your bass and your highs, your lows and your highs. And a digital sound processor, which I have it as high to process the sound and get a better output. Let's see, visual. Here's the wallpapers. You can change from different wallpapers. I have a green because my Jeep is green. The touch panel adjustment, you do have to do that so it responds better. And then the dimmer, have it as on, as auto. By tapping into the illumination wire, what it does is, if you turn my lights on, see, it dims it down, and when I turn them off, it brightens it back up, so that you don't get blinded at night when you drive. And that's it. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. and hope it's helpful to you to put your own system. All right, thank you.